Benucci, Bo, Bichetti. Yes. This is the beloved Jorge Polanco. Got him, yes! That's 3 outs. Second base into 26, JJ won the holds. Charge!
With a hit in his first 3 big league games, he's 4 for 13. As he faces off with Clay Holmes, a 12-game winner last year, and like Kyle Leahy, a converted reliever who logged over 100 more innings than he ever had before last season.
94 starts when he first started with the Pittsburgh Pirates. Then he went into the starting rotation. Really good stuff. The two-seamer is very important to him. Take a look at his arsenal and how he attacks. He's become a three-pitch pitcher when he first started. He's added a little bit of that changeup. Slider and cutter represent what he does, but really it comes down to his sinker-sweeper combination.
When he's on the ground, he's usually going to have a good day, almost a 60% ground ball rate. But he missed there, 3 balls and a strike. So I led the Major League in opponent batting average and slugging percentage last year. And under the radar, terrific pitcher. And it gets
yes!
Defensive alignment. Soto, Carson Bench, and Brett Beatty. Again, his first game in the outfield. No Glovers up the middle, and Lindor and Marcus Semien. No Pete Alonso anymore. He's an Oriole. Bo Bichette, the man at third, and Francisco Alvarez is behind the plate.
Das sind nur vor jetzt Ivan Herrera.
Herrera takes a strike.
You see the numbers for Ivan Herrera, 077, but this last plate appearance yesterday was a line drive out. I love that because he needs to get back to that line drive.
There's that turbo sinker quickly. 0-2. Herrera closing in on 200 career hits. He's 7 away from that. And it's been a while for Ivan. He hasn't seen the Mets since the 2024 season. And a nice stop. on a ball in the dirt.
And that's going to be a key too. Alvarez doing a very good job smothering that ball. But if you're on the base pass with the Cardinals, you have to read that instantly. Read that downward angle, especially with the two-seamer and also the sweeper.
A lot of room in left center and down the left field line for Herrera. Doesn't chase. 2 balls, 2 strikes. What wind there is blowing out toward the Mets bullpen. Beautiful breezy night. Low 80s our first pitch temperature in St. Louis. Chopper toward third. Bichette's got it on a backhand. And his long throw is a beauty. Herrera thought that Jared Young might have come off the bag, but no appeal. He does advance the runner, though, with 1 out.
Bob Bichette moving over to third base. It was really going down there to spring training and doing a lot of drills. Showed very well there with a really nice play.
Cardinals first baseman Alec Burleson is next.
Was this a free one out, Burleson?
He's always hit well against the Mets. In fact, among active players, leads the club in hits, homers, and RBIs against New York.
Yeah, really has been extra aggressive in the first 3 games against the Rays.
Step clap with a kick save of beauty. Cardinals first base coach. Warner mans his post to third. Pop Stiggins, Cardinals averaging the 3rd most runs per game in the major leagues, over 7. They hit 5 homers. 1 ball, 1 strike.
How about Stubby getting into the Canadian Hall of Fame? What an outstanding honor. Here's Stubby. Really, this whole coaching staff really puts in a lot of time, a lot of effort.
1-2. Chop foul. This, in many ways, for this staff, I think, Mark, is going to be one of their most exciting years. All of them are so involved in raised player development. A lot of that development is going to happen here at the major league level with this young club.
Yeah, stems from what Ollie gives them and affords them to be and do what they are here for.
And what's also fun, as you look at this Cardinal lineup, every single player starting this game was born and raised a Cardinal.
Yeah, that's special because that's where you want to start this process. And John Jay is involved with that. We already talked about Victor Scott and his bunting exploits, but also the defense.
Although he's getting away.
Second, but Holmes stepped off. Did we call a balk? Yeah, I think so. Yep, Vic Carapazza calls a balk. They had J.J. dead to rights at third base. Holmes stepped off, but Carapazza said he waggled before he made the move. So Weatherholt gets a break. He's 90 feet away.
See if he makes that movement. And you can hear the umpires yelling that too. This is probably going to get you the best look. Early break by Weatherholt. Yeah, that little herky-jerky motion.
So the infield for the Mets comes in with Burleson up there. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Well, too bad you failed.
This is what else the Cardinals offense has done, Mark. It's really been fun. They're not a 3-pitch out usually.
Yeah, and I love the resolve, especially with 2 strikes.
So a full count. Swing and a base.
Yes! Wonderful score.
Aggressiveness of Weatherholt, that was probably on the scouting report. But this is spectacular. Inside, you can see mislocation. Now Burleson understands how important a line drive and getting on the board early, matching that Mets run.
Mason Wynn is the Cardinals.
What's on with 0 Mason Wynn?
Takes a strike. If you like seeing great shortstop play, this is the series for you. Mason for the Cardinals, Lindor for the Mets.
Yeah, probably the best version. Mookie Betts you could probably add to that list, but these two are spectacular.
Didn't get the sweeper.
It's the best of all.
Science!
And that's an easy answer. The Wizard.
Mason, the 100th Gold Glove in the Cardinals franchise history, his first. Got that hardware here against Tampa Bay. 0-2. Did he go? Yeah, he did.
Definitely he did go.
And Holmes has his first strikeout, 2 away. And Nolan Gorman is next.
Number 16, Nolan Gorman.
Gorman, a mammoth home run, 443 feet. Yesterday, the 75th career homer for the Cardinals third baseman. Been really impressed with his selectivity at the plate. Just a couple of strikeouts to start.
Glad you said that, because you watched that at bat that he hit the home run, and he pulled off early in the at bat. Then he started centering himself. They love to get him to left center field. It keeps him squared, and he killed that ball. Some of those things that when you start to do different and it's new for you, you always revert back, and it frustrates you even more. Nolan Gorman has calmed himself and really squared himself up in the batter's box.
That's an example. Last year, he's swinging at that pitch and is probably late. Instead, he has it even count.
And Chip, you can see his body going towards second base a lot, first base. Now he stays in there.
That's chopped foul at first. So we'll try again. 1-2 is your count. The Cardinals have forced 23 pitches out of Clay Holmes, who finished in the top 10 ERA in the National League. Again, I say this as a great compliment. This is one of the under-radar, terrific arms in our league. Casual fans might not know what kind of a spectacular year he had last season.
He could easily front a rotation. Last year in September, they had to piggyback him, try to get away from a lot of those innings.
Well, Gorman's got him right where he wants him. This year, the Cardinals with 2 strikes, 16 hits, 8 of them for extra bases, and hitting .286 in 2 strike counts.
Well, 10th in baseball last year. I mean, that's what you have to do. You have to have an identity.
That stat courtesy of our great stat man, Ricky Doherty. So 2 throwovers. See if Burleson takes advantage. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Not going. And a swing and a miss. That will retire the side, but the Cardinals cash in, a leadoff walk and a balk.
Few for Cardinals
today because it's his day. Coming out of the pen, you get amped up every day. As a starter, it's 1 out of 5. You get a surge of emotion, and you have to figure out how to deal with it. Guys, Libby says they talk mechanics too, but mostly about preparation.
Got him, yes! Got him, yes! to Marcus Simeon.
Marcus Simeon from the Rangers. He's a terrific glove guy. And Boston getting 182 this year.
I think just being strong in the middle is very important. It's going to be good to see the chemistry. There was lack thereof for that second base position last year. Jeff McNeil from this roster. But it's important, to get those double plays to support your pitching staff, and that's what they did with Marcus Simeon. Struggled with the bat last year just a little bit in Texas.
Also, Lewis Robert Jr. from the White Sox. Beat Pittsburgh in the opening series of the season. So we'll see if those changes are enough for the Mets to go on an 83-win campaign. The challenge for them is they've got the Braves, they've got the Phillies, and they've got the pitching staff for the Marlins to deal with in the National East.
I think it's a very talented division. Chris Mendoza understands the pressures that are involved and the expectations that Mets have.
This way,
Check swing did not go.
2 strikes. So after 2 outs and 3 pitches, Simeon has seen 5 of them. That second inning, tying game 1 apiece. So Ben's waits next. And he lost it. So Simeon keeps the inning alive. Here's Bench. From Oklahoma State. And a special debut on J.J. Littlewood. He hit a home run.
I think these are some of the Cardinals rookies coming into the game. They are very excited for this young man.
So Filter between Carson Bench.
Bench, a talented center fielder. Second foul at third. Good
if yes.
Few for Cardinals.
White Hilton of 18, Jordan Walker.
And it was a changeup, and him staying back, being able to have that right center presence.
That evens the count. 1 ball, 1 strike. That double off the bat yesterday, 114.9 miles an hour. That's the second hardest hit ball in the major leagues so far this year. Little tapper hit toward third. Bichette with a backhand, flips across the first and walks.
Yes.
That was not a hard hit, but it was hit slow enough that Bichette wasn't able to throw and beat a fast big man Jordan Walker.
Well, Bichette's been tested early in this game, both innings, with that running play that's very difficult to get a lot on it. Now, Jordan Walker handles this, but you see him legging it out. He's got really good speed, surprising speed for the size of Jordan Walker.
So the
Let's
Cardinals
go
have
to 27, Nathan Church.
3 hits for Nathan already on the season. Made a great catch on opening day, too, for a kid that struggled at the plate in his cup of coffee last year. What a way to begin your first full big league season. This one all on the ground, too short. And center is going to be late.
Double play, yes.
Good speed. Both feet are wrapped at first base. They get the lead runner. There's the first out. MLB Plus is new for 2026. Stream MLB Network 24/7 in the U.S. and select out-of-market games every week, plus live radio broadcasts of every game. Game Day 3D beginning and minor league action too. Visit MLB.com/MLB Plus to subscribe today. So Holmes starting to get the ball on the ground here. Pedro Pajes next. And rolled foul again for Clay. 56.7 ground ball percentage last year.
Yeah, I think the Cardinals did a really good job in the first inning. You think about 25 pitches, but now Clay Holmes being aggressive with the later stages of this lineup for the Cardinals.
Pajes had a home run late in the game yesterday, his first, and 2 RBIs. And a touch late. 0-2. Cardinals forced Holmes into 25 pitches in the first inning.
Catcher number 43, Pedro Pajes.
112 games for Pajes last season. Little tapper toward the mound. There'll be 1 play. It's the first inning time. That advances Church to second. Now Victor Scott the second is
Sevilleton 11, Victor Scott the second.
I'm talking about the guy that had a very good opening series against the Rays. Victor Scott. We saw a lot of weapons with him. You guys mentioned with the bunting game, that adds to the confidence, but he has restructured his swing in the offseason. I like the adjustments he's made.
Beg your pardon, Mark. Cardinals were out working on bunting earlier today. See what Vic does with 2 outs, takes a strike. Couple of multi-hit games for him so far this year.
Charge!
Bichette side saddle stance at third base, in on the grass. If Victor can slap one to left, you might be able to bring home Church. Steady unloads down the right field line. he's a little early. 2 strikes.
I saw him with the breaking ball, especially last year. Struggled with that at times. And for him to have that opposite field approach with that running game, as you mentioned, Chip, it's going to really serve him well. Be able to slap it the other way, but also he has some power on the pull side.
Bichette backs up even with the bag now on the dirt at third. And way outside.
Let's go, Cardinals.
Again, 2 out, 2 strike scenario for the Cardinals. They've been very good in these spots in the early going. Let's see if Victor can put us in front. Not to be. A swing and a miss. 3 strikeouts for Clay Holmes. Cardinals strand Church. We're up.
Few.
To be honest, it's one thing when you have success and kind of like the big thing in life, but even when he does it, it's the way he wants to do it.
It's early in the season, but it sure looks like your team likes to talk about. That's a good one.
It's a good great stuff.
God, yes.
He's got pitches. He's got the makeup. For Kyle's a very
double play, yes!
Goes to work. It's J.J. Weatherholt who scored the
Second base number 26, J.J. Weatherholt.
Play ball, second time through the order, delivers a strike. And let's take a look at our DirecTV New Era feature. Cardinals rookies, first 3 team games with 4 or more hits and 4 or more RBIs, a very select group.
And you're diving into the 1930s. That's pretty special. We knew how important it was to a good start, but we didn't have especially his first hit being a home run.
And anytime you have a graphic with Showboat Fisher, you're doing something special. Here's a 2-strike count for Weatherholt. And outside, Showboat Fisher, George Aloysius Fisher. 385 career hitter, played on the 1930 Cardinals team. 8 homers, 71 RBIs in his career. And a ground ball to first. Young's got that, and Weatherholt's retired.
Just another 485 forever.
A popular show in town was Showboat, and that's what they nicknamed him. And that, in case you wondered, young fans, that is not Wally Moon. The moonshot. Here's Ivan Herrera. Bichette got him on a good play at third. Mets have 3 hits. Cardinals have 2 early on.
Clay Holmes has mixed his arsenal. Obviously, the 2-seamer has been prevalent tonight, but he's also landed some early off-speed, the breaking ball, and the changeup.
Just 4 starts for Clay Holmes in his career before last year when he started 31 times for the Mets. And they started 20 games over 500 after their first 70 affairs, but then had a 5.31 ERA in the second half of the season, and that doomed them in the National League East.
Yeah, and I also mentioned, too, they had to piggyback to restrict the innings. When you're going from that reliever to a starter, they worry about that, how they're going to navigate the year. And they just want to skip starts, maybe piggyback as they did. Sean Manaea is one of those guys in the bullpen they could do that with.
Warm spring night, the pitches might be coming to life. See the bugs buzzing around pitchers and batters early on.
We've got to get our spray out.
2-2. Popped up. That's another kind of fly, but the wrong kind for a hitter. There's out number 2. This week on Cardinals Insider, a food tasting takes a comedic turn when Alec Burleson and Jordan.
First base number 41, Alec Burleson.
Watch now on the Cardinals YouTube channel or at cardinals.com/insider.
Reminds me when you tried to stuff my face with some stuff last year from Seattle Mariners. You remember that?
Yeah, we had the crickets. That was fun.
That was a blast.
Burleson.
Yes!
Chip, what makes a really good hitter, it's line to line, it's line drive everywhere. Our Chevy pitch tracks will show you exactly what Alec Burleson does. 94, but watch how deep that ball gets, and he's comfortable.
Shorts on with 0 base and
Take
win.
that 2-seamer the other way. That's outstanding hitting.
So another chance for Mason Wayne. He'd like some revenge. He struck out his first time up. Mason Wynn, you might recall, made his big league debut against the Mets. And somewhat controversially, a little infield roller turned into a base hit. Meanwhile, they're not realizing it's Mason's first hit to hit the ball into the stands.
That was nice of him.
1-0 count. Mason did get the ball back. Gave it to his mom. Alonso was obviously apologetic. So Mason Wynn and the Mets forever linked. As Clay Holmes set for his 50th pitch. Already in the game. Semien tries to keep Burleson close at second. And a close miss, ball 3.
He's paying attention now at Burleson. The reason why he showed an inside move early in the count against Mason Wynn. Sometimes he becomes that one looker.
Look at where Benj is playing in center field for New York. I mean, he is playing at Andrew Jones' depth.
And there's not many people that like to do that. See him just under that top of the arch that you see in the grass.
So back-to-back strikes. And the count is full for the Cardinals shortstop. If Mason can reach, you got Gorman next.
Awful, yes.
Struck out his first time up. Mark, let's check out our Bet 365 or Bet.
Du bist ja nur 60 Nolen Kronen.
With 5 home runs, you see that. And he has that home run power. I think that's what you really want to look for in his at-bats.
Gorman with an RBI in all 3 Cardinals games has a chance to go 4 for 4 in that category here. And smart pitch starts in the curveball.
You're starting to see that the second time around. That's been the flavor pitch for Clay Holmes, being able to land that breaking ball.
One thing we learned in the Tampa Bay series, the Cardinals were on the fastball.
Yeah.
Had some trouble with the changeup. And Holmes has had a good one tonight.
Yeah, what makes it difficult too, Chip, is he tunnels both of those pitches in that same spot. Coming out of the hand, it looks like that two-seam fastball.
So 2 quick strikes. It's 1-2.
And he's driving the pitch count up to 57 pitches already.
Two and two. One of the secrets for Holmes' success last year, did not allow a homer in his first 7 games. Then had a stretch of 11 homers over 56 innings.
9 of those came against left-handers too. That's an important fact. Just try to get him up in the strike zone as much as you can.
Gorman's battle back to 2 and 2. And he's in command. 3 and 2 now. You don't know how this game's going to turn out, but the depth and length of these at-bats for the Cardinals. To your point, 1 pitch away from 60. He's not out of the 3rd inning yet.
Lengthy at-bats give you a lot of information. Even help you the later part of the game as well.
Runners go. It's dribbled to the right side. PFP, and that is in time to retire the side. Cardinals
having the upper.
tie game 1-1. Check out Dirt Cam at Busch Stadium. Jorge Polanco, the designated hitter, facing Kyle Leahy in his first start. 3 innings so far and a ton of ground ball outs.
Yeah, he's looked good too. He's mixed a lot of his pitches. He's pitched at the top of the strike zone with that fastball. Also, starting to get a good feel for that curveball. That's the pitch that he really is going to extend himself into this ballgame.
And Polanco serving as the designated hitter today, a slight Achilles issue. So they want to keep him out of the field for that reason, protect him and their investment. And a 1 ball, 1 strike. Count from Leahy. Next down the right field line, and that's fair. That's going to ricochet over the stands. So Polanco with a lead on the rubber against the second extra base hit for the end of the game.
He hitting 100 coming into this game today, and you start seeing that cutting action. He covers it. Right, Polanco is line to line as well. He's on fire. Ricocheting in the stands for the stand-up cover.
Brady will try to advance the runner. Brady with his 3-game win streak. Brady broke in 2022. Last year, 130 games with the Mets and 18 homers.
But built the 7 word Brady.
The same from Brady was his hammer toward right.
Got him, yes! Got him, yes! Got him, yes! field to number 18, Jordan Walker. Yes! The field is with 27, Nathan Church.
Makes an excellent point. J.J. Weatherholt not done with
Charge!
about what Church accomplished in the first game of the season.
So true. Had some great at-bats during spring training, but also left on left is really what I have seen early.
That slash toward left center. Benj on the run. He's going to get to the edge of the track, and he'll make the catch for the first out. Earlier on the night, the wind was blowing that way. Inning or two ago, that might have gone to the fence or over it.
Catcher number 43, Pedro Paez.
And Pedro Paez is the next batter. Let's see if Paez can get something brewing here with one out. Instead, he grounds to short, and that will be an easy double play. So Holmes issues the leadoff walk. He gets a twin killing. Ground ball specialist Marker getting it done after 4 innings tonight. Both teams scored in the first inning. Both pitchers have settled in nicely as Leahy faces 8, 9, and 1 on the New York lineup.
Leahy has done a nice job. 2 extra base hits out of those 4 hits the Mets have.
He's 2 for 2. See if York puts him in play. He played at 3 levels last year. He's the number 2. That's prospect probably playing the pitchers number 1.
Played in that World Baseball Classic for Team USA. Not pitching this series.
Catcher for Francisco Alvarez.
It's tough to come by early on in St. Louis. That's game point for Mason.
Got him, yes! with San Francisco Lindor. Okay, I'll be right back.
Of Soto against the Redbirds.
So impressive. And it's not the home run power. Just stays in the strike zone so well. And there's always a comfortable feeling against certain teams. You see the ball better when you're getting on the road.
He's an on-base machine. He's a perfect number 2 hitter.
Yeah, that's the reason why they gave him a huge contract. I mean, this is what he did in a New York Yankees uniform, put him in one of those categories where the Mets did not want to lose out on him.
So it's Soto with 2 aboard in a tie game. 4-time All-Star. Leahy gives another ground ball. He's got it. Winterhold retreats. Backhand flip to Mason for 1. Throw to first, and Burleson a heck of a stop.
Chip, I'm telling you, this is a game-saving play, and it's by Burleson. It's a backhand, which is very difficult to turn. You see Mason Wynn just uncorking this ball, but how about the glove work by Burley? Big Benj going in hard to third base. If he doesn't make this play, there's a deficit. Outstanding by Burley.
So it's Bo Bichette with runners at the corners. Different look for the Mets. It's not Pete Alonso anymore. It's Bo Bichette hitting third. He has their RBI and a ground out. He's also hitting 2 double play.
Not taking anything away from Bo Bichette, but if Pete Alonso is in the batter's box.
Line into right field, a base hit. Mets take the lead. Soto around second on his way to third.
It's a long game left, so hang in there.
RBI night, and the Mets have taken their second lead.
I mentioned earlier about a guy that can hit 300. This is how you do it. Watch where this location is. Very good two-seamer, and it's in on the hands, and you can see him pulling his hands inside that. Guess the balance part of it wasn't that great, but handling the barrel was really good.
Yeah, not exactly artistic, but certainly effective. And now Polanco is up.
You say at home, any kid that's watching hitting mechanics, close your eyes. That's how good they are at this level.
Well, Bichette needed that. Hard hit ball the other way. And the Cardinals down a run. Mets have out hit us 6-3 so far in the game. Little tapper. And Weatherholt's got that. And
Got him, yes.
And that little tie to the side. Mets take the lead. Carson Bench scores the first run of his night.
The most important.
But how about Peralta? We've seen enough of him.
Andre Palante's pitching tomorrow night. Matthew Liberatore's pitching this Wednesday afternoon
So a night game tomorrow
at 1 p.m.
early day game
Eastern.
on Wednesday. As we trail 2-1, Victor bounces one foul for a strike. Then it's off to our first road trip of the campaign.
Seville to the 11, Victor Scott the second.
And then 3 with the Nationals in Washington.
Tigers started off hot.
No balls in a strike. Justin Verlander is back with the Tigers.
Isn't that incredible? That's really an incredible story. Where he started off, I think he was number 59 when he took his first start for the Detroit Tigers.
2 quick strikes. And Victor's down swinging. He's punched out for the second time. Nothing straight from Holmes to Victor Scott going away in the Redbirds' 5th.
Yeah, Clay Holmes looks comfortable, especially with that changeup. He's starting to get a good feel for that.
Now JJ's up. He walked and scored the lone Cardinals run in the opening inning.
Segment number 26, JJ Weatherholt.
Lindor plays him up the middle. It's been fun, as you mentioned, watching JJ hit, whether it's a lefty or a righty. He lets the ball travel, and he's shown a willingness, really a desire to hit the ball the other way.
Yeah, he had it at bat the other day that was, he got behind early and drew a walk. Those are the type of things that you don't typically see from a young hitter.
I know there's video. I know there's the pitch track machines, the projector, the traject machine, whatever the title is. Nothing's like facing guys for the first time in live action, right? So JJ has to get a book on the fly, as it were.
Yeah, and process it too.
Right.
Yeah, I think that's the difficult part for young hitters, but also keeping it simple. I think he does that very well. I think his really go-to is that left center gap, that line drive over the shortstop's head.
To second, Semien a step to his right. Saturday, April 11th, you can take home a gray and red Cardinals dugout hoodie. That's presented by Mercy, available in medium and extra large sizes while supplies last. Details at cardinals.com/promotions.
Das ist der nur für jetzt Ivan
For
Herrera.
15 at the plate to start the year. He's 0 for 2 tonight.
See all the hitting coaches huddled up watching what Ivan Herrera. It really is timing. It has a lot to do with that. When he's timed up perfectly, you know what happens off that bat.
He missed some time this spring with a sore knee. That kept him from behind the plate. He was able to do a lot of his hitting progression, but again, to our point, different doing that as opposed to facing live action.
Yeah, and getting at bats on the backfield doesn't have the intensity that you like to do. I mean, he has some moving parts within his swing.
One ball, 2 strikes. Eight outs on the ground for Clay Holmes. That's his game. The pitch. Roll toward third. That'll be number 9. And a quick inning with the lead. Redbirds retired 1-2-3 in the 5th. 2-1 New York in game 1. This Mets lead 2-1 as we head to the 6th inning. I would love to have Bob Costas read my grocery list. He'd make it sound like Shakespeare, wouldn't he?
Be a better grocery visit, I know that.
And I hope Fred Bird on her shoulder is saying, all right, Kyle, give us another scoreless inning and let the bats for the Cardinals go to
Get
work.
some runs.
And he's done a nice job tonight. A lot of ground ball outs. 2 leadoff men have reached in the 1st and 5th for New York. Both of them have scored. But I think he's mixed and matched well. He's kept the Mets off balance. He's only thrown 71 pitches.
Yeah, 14 first pitch strikes. He's been aggressive at times, but also shown a lot of pitches.
Another leadoff man reaches. Beatty with a 1-strike single. And the Mets with a 6th inning threat with nobody out. He's 72 pitches. Clay Holmes slightly over 80. And Jared Young is next. No balls and a strike.
Well, he'd love to get another ground ball here, maybe that double play offering. He goes back to that curveball here in this situation. Get him on that pull side.
10 outs on the ground unofficially for Leahy. As Jared Young digs in just past 8 o'clock in St. Louis.
See the depth on that changeup. He has a good arm action, which gives you that awkward swing by Young.
I would imagine this time of the season, all the hitters are geared for the fastball. That changeup's a really devastating pitch.
And the amount of bats that you get in spring training really doesn't do enough.
1-2. Love the stories of guys that go to Japan or Korea and improve their big league fortunes after a season or so over there. Young hoping to be the latest and greatest. As it's 2-2.
Yeah, a lot of breaking balls over there, a lot of off speed. That'll give you a different perspective. Maybe sitting on pitches.
Beatty a very short lead at first. And now the Mets are starting to fight hard with 2 strikes. Matt Swanson's gotten up. He starts to play catch. Hopefully he has any more trouble here with the pitch count. Jumps quickly. Swanson will be coming in first out of the Cardinals bullpen tonight.
I think they'll set him in motion too here, especially with that 1-run lead. They want to try to extend it. For the Mets last year, 147 stolen bases. That was 3rd in the NL.
He holds. And a shot
Uh-oh.
toward the gap in right center. Long run for Walker. That'll bounce off the wall. They're going to wave Beatty around third. Here he comes. It's a stand-up double for Jared Young, and the Mets extend the lead. It's a 3-1 score. That was quite an at-bat. He fought off a couple of tough pitches and then hit a bullet into the gap.
Our Chevy pitch tracks will show this four-seamer that was elevated just a little bit, but a better swing. See the location? Shoots it in the gap. And you could see Beatty just coming around and being waved in, extending that Mets lead.
And that will end the night.
And it's pitching change time by Oliver Marmol.
That is what put himself into a different light in that bullpen.
Cardinals middle relief Mark has had some tough luck in the first 3 games of this season. See if Swanson can improve on that. That's a good way to do it. Get ahead 0-2.
Yeah, location, and especially just being aggressive, trying to replicate those numbers sometimes is very difficult. In the previous year, you know what Matt Swanson will be able to do, especially locating that slider fastball combination.
Cardinals bullpen, 15 earned runs in 13 innings, 24
It was
hits.
like a Simeon.
Yeah, and you start looking at it, if you lose that series, it's going to be magnified. If you win the series, it's like, just let's get back into what our normalcy is.
That's a good way to do it.
Got him, yes.
95, and Simeon blown away for Swanson, who's got strikeout number 1.
Well, really, at the end of the year last year was the aggression. You see that two-seamer, it's got nasty movement, mislocation, but gets the strikeout on that outside corner.
So that's his first strikeout in his 3rd game of the season. Carson Benj is next, and that's outside. Bit of a different role, I think, for Matt to start the season. Right now, he's the first option out to give Ollie some length, a role that Kyle Leahy was so good at. And as Jim Hayes reported earlier tonight, Matthew Liberatore served in that capacity in Cardinals bullpen too. But there's no doubt this guy has 9th inning stuff. If you want to ride his right arm, he's done that before, both here in the majors and in the minors.
Yeah, and Chip, you hear it also too. Every manager would like to work from the 9th inning and work backwards in what your role is. Swanson definitely has that ability to go 1+, and they're going to need that. Shutdown innings, throwing up zeros. That's going to be important moving forward,
especially in March and April.
Right.
And yes, there are more off days and the like, but I think that's what Dusty Blake was so good at last year, was finding ways to protect not just his relievers, but his starting pitching too, by monitoring workload, and then the bullpen took over. Up the middle, Mason had his man played perfectly behind the back.
Got him, yes.
Young to third. 9th place hitter coming up. That's Francisco.
Starts at Rally House. From jerseys and hats to tumblers for game day, it's where outrageous selection meets every fan style.
Alvarez has struck out and has popped out. Single runs for New York in the 1st, 5th, and here in the 6th. That is a very big run to prevent 90 feet away here. Cardinals have played comeback all year long. Small sample size, they're down 2 here tonight.
Alvarez looks like he's going for downs every swing. That aggression is why Swanson goes in that sweeper.
That's not a stuffed animal, AJ.
He's sticking around to see how the inning finishes for Matt Swanson. 5 innings, 1 strikeout, 2 walks, 8 hits. 3 runs for Kyle so far. And Swanson's overcooking it. 3-1.
His misses have been on that glove side. Almost feels like he's just pulling that fastball. Like everything has to deal with your fastball command, and everything works off of that.
And just missed, and the Cardinals are challenging that.
Oh, we gotta take a look at it.
Touched the helmet. He's 0 for 3 in challenges. Time to change that.
And all the Marvels get challenged. Oh no, it stands. So he lost
All
his
you can do is
challenge.
smile. It is ball 4 by 3/10 of an inch.
Well, that's going to frustrate Pedro Pages because you know how much he puts into his craft. You can almost see it on his face when you saw that.
And there is some strategy involved here. You get that call to strike. Well, you earn another pitch, and maybe you don't face Lindor with 2 on. But it didn't work out the Cardinals' way. Lindor has tripled and walked to highlight his night. And did he get hit? Apparently so. So Lindor plunked on the first pitch, back foot slider.
And he was hit by the
The Mets have him loaded.
See where it gets him. That slider heading in and just nips
Oh.
that left toe. That can't feel good.
You had that guy. You should have standing there.
Do you idolize fellow analysts?
Of course I do.
Yeah. I mean, Rex Hudler would say in a moment like this.
And small visits signed by Dusty Blake.
Want to know what that feels like? Go into your garage and grab a ball peen hanger and smash it on your toe.
Not going to do that.
Yeah. Rex had a good time today. The Royals won at Kauffman Stadium. They've changed the dimensions in Kansas City, moved the fences in and dropped the wall height. We'll see how that plays over the course of the year.
Maybe rob some home runs, some different highlights.
And now you've got a real mess on your hands here in St. Louis because the bases are loaded for Juan Soto, who has reached base twice, singled in the third, and on a force play in the fifth. Cardinals got the ground ball they wanted from Soto. Weatherholt had to give ground and move to his right. And that extra step or two is what allowed Soto
Let's
to
go
outrun
to
the baseball.
Juan Soto.
That's got a base hit from Bichette to score their second run and haven't trailed since.
Careful with Soto. He looks for zones in these situations.
Sonson got 2 quick outs, then a walk and a hit batter. Young at third, Alvarez second, Lindor at first. No place to put the Mets left fielder, Juan Soto. Snap throw back to second and win in front of the bag. No chance to get Alvarez. Now you got to throw a strike to a man that's one of the most selective hitters in the game.
Yeah, he'll still take his shots. Especially in this situation with a 2-run lead. It's 1 pitch, 1 spot for Juan Soto.
Three balls, no strikes with the lead. And nowhere near. Walk hit batsman walk, forces in a run, and add that one to Leahy's tally. 4 runs in 5 innings. And New York leads the game 4-1.
You can see Matt, he is off mechanically. And that's a difficult spot because you know you want to have location. It's just pulling on that glove side.
Let's see if Bichette waits him out after 2 walks in the inning. He didn't. He turned it loose. Wow. Strike 1.
Yeah, he's thinking about those 8 strikeouts in that first series, and he's letting it fly. That's how he gets out of those mini slumps of his.
Line into right. Come on, Jordan. He
Got him, yes.
slides to the left hand to retire the side. So the Mets get bases loaded, walk and an RBI double. They lead it 4-1. Well, we mentioned a couple of times the changes for New York entering the 2026 season. They've also, Mark, had a few pretty important injuries to report. That's your BJC Healthcare injury report.
Yeah, it sounds like AJ Minter might be back. If you think about that left lat muscle tear, that's difficult to come back, but he's supposed to be on a rehab next week. That's a talented left-hander, as you know, Chip, and you need those, especially to fortify that bullpen.
Well, the Cardinals are down 4-1. The 3-4-5 batters are coming up. You've got Holmes at 81 pitches. I would imagine the Mets would love to get him through 6, but pitch count might change that thinking. Let's see if Burleson can work.
Let's visit the flame one, Alex Wilson.
Double. He's got 2 of the Cardinals' 3 hits.
Sarge.
Partners up to the bullpen.
Yeah, Burleson has put on a show on the pull side the first time and then going the other way for a double.
There's the Alex Myers. There's Clay Holmes. All the Cardinals' hits came in innings 1, 2, and 3. Holmes has walked 3 batters, but a big double play got him out of trouble in the 4th inning. And now 1-2 count. And Burley went up and out of the strike zone, chased a slider. 5 strikeouts for Holmes, 1 away in the 6th.
So if you're to 11, no shortstop to 0, Mason win.
This guy's stuff has gotten better as the game's gone along. Cardinals saw leadoff walk and a Burleson base hit, score their lone run.
And to your point, Chip, 16 first pitch strikes.
To center, but Benj will retreat, and plenty of room. There's your second out. Mason is 0-2. It's time for our Bet 365.
The Mason number 16, Nolan Gorman.
Performer tonight. He's 0-2, but for more on him, let's join Jim Hayes.
Yeah, Chip, Gorman feels like his swing is in a good place. He told me it's all about sequencing. He said the key is making sure my foot gets down early. For me, early isn't early enough. Guys, Nolan says if his foot plant is on time, his body is in good position to drive the ball. I think we'd all like to see a lot of that this season.
I think he has the ability to put up those big numbers, but you want the consistency of where that foot strike, but also the swing, using the big part of the field. He has power to all fields. I think he gets pull happy at times, and that's what gets him into trouble.
1 ball, 1 strike. Gorman has struck out and grounded out. Holmes is set down 7 straight. High fly to right. Beatty going back. That ball's going to carry.
It's a homer, Sia.
Gorman with a solo home run. That was one of those moon shots. Same trajectory as the getaway arc. Straight up and straight out.
Wow.
Make it a 2-run game.
Go figure.
Up 419 feet. We talked about it. It's all the power, but it's a cut fastball that Nolan Gorman gets. Brett Beatty went back on that ball. He had no idea. That's such a huge carry on that.
So that ends the night for Clay Holmes. He surrenders.
And it's
to
pitching change signed by Mickey.
The Cardinals have life.
Very impressive.
Pitching change signed by Matt
Punches that camera into the
Manager.
router.
What?
As Jorge Polanco leads off.
Very impressive.
Oh, his second home run.
Revealed to the 18 Jordan Walker.
Is the new Mets pitcher, and Walker out in front of the first pitch, pops it into shallow right. Beatty will give way to Bench, and that is the Cardinals' sixth. The punches that camera into the router. As Jorge Polanco leads off for the Mets in the seventh, we got a 4-2 game.
Yeah, I love the different looks. Starting to see the cameras out on the field, put you into the game.
Polanco a double in his 3 trips. As the Mets DH, and he's got a single, so he's got a pair of knocks. The Mets have 9 of them in the game. And another New York leadoff man is aboard. 3 of them have scored already tonight. Fourth base runner allowed by Swanson, who's going to work multiple innings tonight. Now Brett Beatty, he singled and scored. He's also flied out twice. For the Cardinals relief corps, he has small sample size it is early. They've had the pitch mark behind the count an awful lot. It's a dangerous way to work.
It's a really good point, and when you do that, you can start honing in on certain areas if you're a hitter. Really execution, and they're trying to work out those issues, and they're having conversations in between innings. Matt Swanson goes out there again just to get those mechanics right.
Popped up, that's going to curl into the seats. And 2 balls and a strike. Nice crowd on one night. It's Monday in St. Louis. Hope you'll make your plans to join us tomorrow. As Mark told you, it's Henry Palante's season debut. Jorge Senga pitches for the Mets. First pitch at 6:45. Our Cardinals TV pregame show at 6 with Danny Wexelman and Brad Thompson. We'll also wrap things up for us tonight from the ballpark. The 3-1. He went around. There's a break. That would have been ball 4.
Got him, yes.
His second strikeout, 1 out.
Now the 3-1 cutter was really good pitch. You got the check swing on that, but how about the sweeper to finish it off? That's the location that you want, and also the depth of that pitch. That has to feel good for Matt Swanson.
Jared Young, an RBI double. That was the last batter faced by Leahy. Burleson, nice pick at first. 1 there. That's all we get.
And it's out, yes.
Introducing Coca-Cola Unlimited. Tickets start as low as $29. They include access to ballpark favorites like hot dogs, nachos, and much more. It's bottomless Cokes and ballpark eats all game long. Tickets at cardinals.com/unlimited. We need to send your son Garrett out there and see if he can do 9 for 9. 9 bratwursts, 9 innings. Think he can do it?
I think he could do it. Give him an opportunity. Gotta give it a best shot.
Luis Robert Jr. is going to run for Jared Young here. Robert came over from the White Sox in a deal that included Luis Angel Acuna, Ronald Acuna's brother.
How about the start for Luis Robert? Maybe coming into a new uniform, also the Big Apple, game-winning 3-run homer.
No balls and a strike. 0-2 for Simeon.
Good to see Matt's sweeper looking a lot better this time. He's pulled on that glove side, both the fastball and the sweeper, not this inning.
Crowd buzzing with a 2-strike count. After the 7th inning stretch, the Cardinals will have the lower third coming up. Nathan Church, Pedro Paez, Victor Scott II. Wave going here in downtown St. Louis.
You a Wave fan?
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
You participate?
Sometimes. Depends on if it gets around before the pitch. Poked out a play foul. See, we'll have time now.
And here it comes.
Almost around. Come on.
Yeah, I like it.
Big fan participation.
Also, it's a nice stretch.
Absolutely right. By hamstring, the pitch. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Blown out back. Hurt hamstring.
Have you got at this stage in life where everything hurts all the time
Yes.
yet?
Yes.
The 2-2. Dribble foul. Swanson piling up the pitches. Number 36 on the way. And the 7th to 7th.
Ah, yes.
Strikeouts. And Swanson needed that. That's can't catch in a leadoff single. To the stretch we go. We got a good ball game.
Burt Jones is
$1,000 to the Make-A-Wish Foundation. Church showed butt. And it takes strike. Wholesale
The field
changes
number
to
27,
strike
Nathan Church.
We'll get you those in a moment. Brett Beatty moves from right field to first base. Carson Bench moves to right, and Luis Robert Jr. now the center fielder in the late innings.
Showing the versatility, which I think is very important. Especially in the National League, you're seeing a lot of that around baseball.
Strike 3. Church rung up on the inside corner.
Myers loves that split finger, and he got to that 2-strike point. Got Nathan Church with that split finger.
Catcher number 43,
Next
Pedro
one,
Paez.
going now 15 1/3 innings and 14 strikeouts. It's a different looking bullpen without Edwin Diaz, but still a lot of strike 3. Here's Paez, the Cardinals' 8th place hitter. And you figure if Myers does his thing, you could see Weaver and then Devin Williams for innings 8 and 9 after this. Or so inclined. Of course, if Williams comes in, he's got that airbender changeup.
Sure does.
Pitch that's given hitters fits for a long time.
AJ.
And foul straight back, just like that. 0-2. Cardinals got to find a way to break the spell against the Mets. They dropped 9 of the last 11 games head-to-head against New York. Did take 2 out of 3 against them here in St. Louis last year, but were without a win in the Big Apple.
Yeah, we mentioned Carlos Mendoza's Mets come in here with a huge payroll, but also huge expectations. And it's a nice test for the Cardinals.
Swing and a miss. A high
So we go to 11, Victor Scott II.
one there, but has back-to-back strikeouts. So it's up to Victor Scott II. A couple swings and misses for Victor tonight. Two runs on 4 hits for the Cardinals. They've left 4 on base. is still playing catch in the Cardinals bullpen. Looks like he'll come on for the 8th. And the 8-9-1 batters on the Mets card. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Into the strike.
Myers, a former Brewer. And there's that wrinkle. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Brandon Sproat and Jet Williams came to the Brewers for Freddie Peralta and Tobias Myers. Peralta, a free agent at season's end. That's banking on Peralta being a top rotation #1 guy. And we'll see if he stays in New York.
Yeah, they like to lock him up. There was even conversations over the spring training.
Victor can't connect, and how about the 7th inning for Myers? 3-4 for the Cardinals.
Back.
4 runs in his season debut.
George Soriano.
George Soriano, the second Cardinal reliever to answer a Chevy call to the bullpen.
See the numbers last season. Possesses a very good changeup. Let off bench with that. Back-to-back outings. He pitched in yesterday's game and looked very comfortable.
11 strikeouts, no walks this spring. And no earned runs over 8 outings. For the Cardinals' young right-hander, made his 3rd opening day roster. And his first with St. Louis. And just missed inside. 1 ball and 2 strikes. I notice on the Mets jersey tops,
with the
you'll see a
constant
patch that
bench.
says Davey. Explain what that means in a moment. Broken bat pop into right. Walker got a good jump.
Got him, yes.
Fans retired. 1 man down. We step aside quickly for a word from BJC Healthcare. Pedro Alvarez, Francisco Alvarez, big part, is the Mets catcher. And that Davey patch honors the Mets former manager, Davey Johnson, all-time winningest manager. Led them to the '86 World Series championship. Davey passed away at the age of 82 in September. His wife Susan and some of their grandchildren threw out a first pitch at Citi Field. Davey was a personal acquaintance of mine and really a forerunner to the modern way we see games played. He was a computer statistical matchup guy before that was cool, and he did it really without computers. Played under Earl Weaver with the Orioles. As that one's guided inside the line to left for Francisco Alvarez. He'll chug to second. And
He gets a double, he scores like this, then I'm done.
Davey Johnson managed Dwight Gooden and Ron Darling and Darryl Strawberry, Howard Johnson, so many great players in Mets history. And after stops there, went to Cincinnati and the Nationals. Great career, great man who will be missed by men.
Yeah, I think a lot of people will say that he personalized it. And obviously, the forward thinker, as you mentioned, Chip, but also he had the ability to resonate with a lot of different players at a time where you would think he's just going to go out there and pencil into that lineup. Sorely missed, but also honored on the uniforms of the Mets.
Lindor drives one into shallow center.
Yes, got it.
Is the second out. Lindor reached base 3 times, not here in the 8th, but it's up to Solo if the Mets are to cash in this one-out double and extend the lead. It's late. Cardinals will have their 1, 2, 3 batters coming up. Mets bullpen is busy yet again. Brooks Raley is getting loose. The Cardinals aren't going to pitch to Soto here. Can't blame them for that. And they'll go after Bichette, who's knocked in 2 of their 4 runs.
Yeah, this deficit feels a little larger because the offense of the Cardinals have really struggled at times tonight. But you got to keep that deficit only to 2 runs. Very important position of the game.
Believe it or not, the Mets tonight are 1 for 13 with runners in scoring position, but they lead by 2 and have 10 hits. Bichette turns it loose. His dad knew how to do that too when he bashing baseballs with the Blake Street Bombers in Colorado. His dad, Dante Bichette, one of the game's great sluggers. On the ground left side, tricky hop, and a throw.
Got him, yes.
By Burleson. So nothing doing for New York. J.J. Weatherholt starts next for the Cardinals.
Mama, what?
Pitch and 1 out.
Let's see how they finish this one off.
Yeah, we'll keep our eye on it. Swing dog, guys.
Danny, thank you. It's going to be fun to watch. The Cardinals take aim at Brooks Raley. We mentioned it's interesting to see how offensive players go overseas and come back. Well, Raley did that 5 seasons in Korea. After
Second baseman number 26, J.J. Weatherholt.
JJ to center. Robert hardly had to move. Easy play, 1 pitch, and 1 out. Last year, Raley, 30 games with the Mets. A 3-1, 2.45 ERA and record.
3 left-handers in the Mets bullpen. And
Das ist der 485
bridge
Bewerber.
that gap to the talent in the back end of the bullpen.
Herrera 0 for 3 tonight. Cardinals have 4 hits. And just outside, 1 ball, no strikes.
Charge.
Raley out of Texas A&M. Ball 2. Close game. No proverbial flip and a flash. You got the right guys up with 1 out. Your 2, 3, 4 hitters scheduled. And find a way to get on base here. Ryan Stanek playing catch. Looks like he'll come on for the 9th inning for St. Louis and its relief corps. Swing and a drive. Did he keep it fair?
Oh.
That was loud, but he pulled it too far. 2-2.
Well, Chip, these young Cardinals have really fought in this first series, and then you're looking at it now. Only a 2-run deficit to get that runner on. They're 1 swing away.
All help appreciated. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Let's see how patient Herrera is. He's yet to walk this season. 3-2. Swing and a shot.
Yes.
So Herrera has his 2nd hit of the year. And the right guy coming out. It's Alex Burleson. Even lefty, you like the odds. Alex swinging a hot bat with 2 hits tonight.
Now, this is a good look. He loves throwing the sweeper, but he stays on this in the middle of the diamond. It's a knuckleball off the bat. Good balance. You see him driving through this baseball. That's a good sign for Herrera and really good feel.
I'm not worried about Ivan Herrera. As I said last year, that kid's born to hit.
He sure is.
And that one 110 miles an hour off the bat. So Burleson down the strike. Lefty versus lefty in the 8th inning. 4-2 game.
Let's miss it the 41, Alex Burleson.
We've said it time and time again. This Cardinals team last year, this year, have shown an amazing amount of fight. They don't always win, but they always give you a finish. We'll see what kind is in store for us here tonight. As Alec tried to yank that one into the bullpen and came up empty.
Yeah, I like him taking his shots, and the aggression is there. But also, he's gained some knowledge. The reason why he's turned himself into one of those top hitters. You can spray that and be able to foul that off and look for that mistake. That's what Burley does.
Burley can read the scouting report. He knows the outer half of the strike zone is in play. Good job to spoil that one. Let's see what he gets here. Serves that one high in the air towards center. And Robert is there. Ready, had him off strike.
Was on with you, Mason Wynn.
And Mason Wynn, the final 8th inning home. Mason's walked in 3 trips to the plate.
Charge.
Another strike. It's 0-2.
So those numbers with the sweeper with Rayleigh, he likes it to both sides of the plate. He's got a good feel for that pitch. Mason has to take that opposite field approach here.
He's got a lot of room right side to play with. And when he's right, he fills that gap and off the line.
He likes to do it with 2 strikes. I mean, this is what you need here. Just pass the baton.
The 1-2 pitch. Now the left-hander comes set and the 2-2. Shot towards second. And Simeon's got that to retire the side. No runs ahead. A man left. To the 9th we go. A double and an intentional walk to Juan
This is
Soto.
11 Jorge Polanco.
With a
Oh,
couple of
hold on.
hits.
But also look good. And Gorman's solo homer
This
has
is
made it
11 Jorge
interesting.
Polanco.
Keep on putting up zeros if you're Soriano. Put him back in the dugout.
Soriano, his second inning, he put up a double and an intentional walk to Juan Soto. Now it's Jorge Polanco with a couple of hits, Brett Beatty, and then Luis Robert. Mets are winning this game with only 1 hit with a runner in scoring position. They're 1 for 14. Cardinals haven't had many chances, just 1 for 3. And again, Soriano falls behind as you check out Dirk Cam in front of home plate. On 10 hits for New York. They've left 11 on base. The Cardinals a couple of runs on 5 hits. Serve towards second. JJ retreats.
Got him, yes.
And Soriano has the first out in 9th. Looking ahead to the bottom half. Gorman, Walker, and Church scheduled. Devin Williams is up in the Mets bullpen. The Cardinals lineup card alternates left, right, all the way up and down. We'll see whom, if anyone, Ali calls upon to pinch hit.
Was that Brett
The
Beatty?
situation arises. Brett Beatty is moved from right field to first base and has a hit and a run scored. Little chopper toward the mound. Easy pick.
Got him, yes.
As I mentioned, Chip, it's so important just to put up zeros because you start realizing what that identity is for this club and an opportunity.
So Robert up again. This guy was an all-star and ticketed for superstardom a couple of years ago with the White Sox. Hadn't worked out the last couple of years. But the Mets feel like they could bring out the best in him, and if they do, if they hit on this guy, look out.
Yeah, the White Sox had a tough time keeping him on the field. Too many injuries really derailed his production.
No balls, 2 strikes. Swanson, 2 scoreless innings. Soriano hoping for 2 scoreless frames himself as they start to settle in. And on the ground to third. Gorman's got it, takes a peek at the baseball.
Got it, yes.
And good work from Soriano. That's Devin Williams, the St. Louis native. He's got a 2-run lead heading to the bottom.
Does have that feel, right? And you look at it at 419. Just had a lot of carry, but if you take a look at the pool noodle, it'll show you it is an arch.
See? Not quite 630 feet tall, but same shape and the right size for the Cardinals. So he'll take aim at St. Louis native Devin Williams. They brought him in as a free agent. Williams in year 1 of a 3-year deal with the Mets. 67 games last year, 18 saves. He looks to improve on that.
Yeah, nearly 50-50 with fastball changeup. He's a 2-pitch pitcher. Falls in love with that changeup. Sometimes that command of the fastball really struggles at times.
Williams wanted to do baseball, but got it late. He's hoping a change of address in the Big Apple will change his luck. He had an unsightly 4.79 ERA with the Yankees. After all those great years with Milwaukee, out of Hazelwood West High School. And entered this season with 86 career saves. First one upstairs, 4-seam fastball, 95.
They said it was 16 Nolan
I
Coleman.
mentioned it earlier, Chip, replacing Edwin Diaz. He was one of those guys that really locked it in the 9th inning.
Gorman is 0 for 2 with a walk lifetime against Williams. There's the airbender. Williams can't find one he likes.
Well, if he throws that changeup like that, that's a pretty good feel for it, I'm sure.
One and 2 in the home ninth. Didn't mean to. Little pop. And that'll be caught. Gorman's retired for the first out. And time to take a look at our Budweiser player of the game. Mets counting on big things from Clay Holmes. He delivered tonight.
A lot of it was first pitch strike success. Also, he had a really good feel for his changeup late in the outing. 5 2/3, 2 earned runs, 3 walks, but also 5 strikeouts.
That's a good challenge for Jordan.
Whitefield to number 18, Jordan Walker.
Jordan, a nice job yesterday staying back and hitting the changeup. I figure he'll see more than one in this sequence.
These are the tough tests. Already had that first pitch changeup landing for a strike.
So you start with a change, then you throw 93, which I'm guessing looks like 103. Now you've sped him up. Williams ahead of the 2 can really anything.
Yeah, it really becomes a guessing game, and that's the difficulty when you're in the batter's box going against Devin Williams. With 2 strikes, he loves to go to the changeup. That's the higher percentage.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Walker pops it up. Beatty, foul ground. A lot of room here at Busch Stadium. He'll squeeze that. And the Cardinals are down to their last out. It'll be Nathan Church.
Whitefield to number 27, Nathan Church.
3 in the game. You spent a lot of time, Mark, in San Diego. You saw Trevor Hoffman's changeup, a pitch that so many hitters said was devastating. Where does Williams rank with Hoffman's Hall of Famer?
Well, it's that differential, right? And when you talk about velocity with a fastball, Trevor was more of that straight fastball outside, and he would add to that with the changeup. I think there's more movement when you think of what Williams gives. But really, from the hitter's perspective, it's a fluid play, and it's frustrating when you take a fastball like that for Nathan Church. You're like, I got to feel that. Now I know what he's going to. Any pitch at any time is really what Devin Williams does.
So the Cardinals down to their final strike in the 9th inning. And the 0-2 pitch.
There it is. There's the guessing game. It's a fastball. He fouls it off, which is a good feel, but now you have been set up.
Again, the 0-2.
No, big loss.
And the Mets take game 1.